back again. Another live stream working on Mom's PC upgrades. Well, I tried to get ready, but I never am. I think my mind, something in my brain or body or something just knows that I have to cough like crazy when I get live. Okay, it's got something to do with allergies, I think. So, go back to work on this little old machine. Yesterday, I figured out, I got it on its side because I'm going to take that extra network card out of it. I figured out that I got the onboard NIC to working again. It worked fine before I upgraded. You know, when the ASRock motherboard had the dual core and AMD with 2 gig of RAM, it was working fine with Fedora 26. And I don't remember, it's been a while since I installed it, over a year or more, I guess. Yeah, I think I installed it when Fedora 26 was brand new. And so anyway, I don't remember if I had to do anything special. Usually with Fedora, you just boot up and you've got network, you know, with a wired connection. Wi-Fi, you might have to go install some proprietary drivers or something. But anyway, you know, I put another card in. Actually, I tried 2 other network cards, NICs, and one of them wouldn't work. And I had some little notes. I have it in a bag, you know. I keep my parts, my PCI cards and stuff in plastic bags, and if I have any kind of trouble with them, or I figure out what machine they'll work or won't work in, I'll write a sticky note and put it in there. Well, I had notes saying it didn't worked in one machine, not in the other, and stuff. So it could be. And really, I had 3, I think, of those. This was a Realtek card, and I had with a Realtek chip on it. I pay attention to the chips more than I do the brands usually, but anyway. You know, the brand name of the card, and it was a Realtek 8139, I think it was, and they're with A or B. You know, there's A, B, and C that I've seen. Anyway, they used to all work just fine, but then I guess the others that work good are in other machines right now, because I looked through all my parts in my toolbox there. I keep all my most of them in the bottom of that, my little toolbox under there, and so it wouldn't work in there, at least not on Fedora. And I didn't want, you know, my goal wasn't to find out and diagnose that thing. I just wanted to get something working in there. And then I had a Kingston card that Jeff, the guy that gave me some of these computers, gave me one time. And it's an older one. It came with floppy disk. And it's a 100 megabit card, though. It's not a 10. I have some ISA cards. I have one that's 100, and I think another one that's a 10 megabit card. And I think I have 3 ISA cards in there, actually, after I was going through it all. And so anyway, it works, but it will only get 5 megabits on the internet. That's weird, because I'm pretty sure it used to give 100 megabits, you know. Well, I mean, I never have, you know, I never have had a way to test my local network speed. And yesterday, that was part of what I did. I tried to figure out, find some way an app that maybe I could install on my server to do that. But I quit because I just got, you know, I didn't want to spend forever just looking for that. I found something that some code free code, you know, with Java code I could put on one of my web pages, and then it would use someone else's server, and that would be fine. But that's not testing my local network. That's just testing your internet speed. And my internet is 60 megabits, so anything over that I can't test, right? So that's why. And I would like to be able to test these gigabit Ethernet cards and see if they really get gigabit, because I have, well, Mom's machine has, yeah, the ASRock has a gigabit Ethernet. That's what it's supposed to have. And then the Lenovo i5 is gigabit Ethernet. And my router, I have my D-Link router is gigabit, and my TP-Link's gigabit. So I should be able to, like, you know, transfer some files between those 2 machines and see if what I'm really getting, if everything is up and working right. So I'd like to do that, but anyway, and mostly I just thought, you know, lots of times when I wanted to know what was going on with Ethernet connection, especially for my streaming and all that, I want to know how well my Wi-Fi is streaming and all that stuff. there is an app that I put on my phones that will well, it tells you how strong the signal is. Yeah, there's the basic internet connection testing apps that I've used. But anyway, that going in circles. So far, all I've just found is just some good way, some different ways to test network connection. I mean, internet connection, network connection, but to the internet, to internet servers. So I did. Okay, now I'm back to the main point here. I did finally see that it's just fine. The bio, like there's nothing. I was kind of wondering, well, what if this 8-core CPU is whacked out somehow, made that Ethernet card not work right, or the memory even. I've read some things like people saying that things like that happened before in some of those forums when I was looking. Not necessarily. I don't remember which board I was looking up. The ASRock board that I have, and then I also was doing a bunch of research. I was thinking about buying an Asus board back a couple of years ago, and so all that stuff's kind of jumbled around in my head. But anyway, I look over at it. It helps me remember things. I'd got it, of all things, I just started trying on my easy to boot SD card and that multi-boot setup I've got. I just started trying different things on there, and I need to redo it because all of my domains and all my Fedoras won't even boot anymore, the new ones I put on there. But some of the other stuff that was already on there previously still works. And I had Hiron's boot CD with Mini XP, live Windows XP system on there. I thought, what the heck? I just booted it up. I just thought, well, let's see if it'll run on an 8-core with 8 gig RAM. And sure enough, it booted up really fast and ran great. And of course, it only saw half the RAM. I figured that out. Well, I figured out any 32-bit system will only see half the RAM because I booted a couple of them on there at Linux and Windows, or Linux and XP. I don't know about any other Windows. I didn't try any other ones. Well, I did try Windows 7 install. I don't have any live. I don't know if anybody's ever made a live. Well, I guess there probably somebody has, but I don't have a live Windows 7 that I could try. Hold on to my cup. I guess I need a drink. So anyway, yeah, the Windows 7 install, there wasn't no way for me to tell if I had a network connection, I don't think. I just saw that it booted up. But Windows XP, the live version that Hiron made, I've had it for years. It used to be, I mean, still got some good tools on it, but of course, like the virus scanners and everything are so old, I don't think they'd be much use anymore. But it connected right up to the network. I guess I tried it first on the extra, it's a Kingston NIC card that I put in there. And I was looking back through my video, and I kind of had, it looks like I did it twice, once with the Kingston and then once with the, I said, okay, let's see if the onboard NIC works, and it worked, no problems. And I found one thing to do a test. We'll see it has it has Opera web browser on it. It's really old, so none of the normal websites would work on it. Found one that would work on it, and it was saying it was getting 79 megabits download, and the upload speed test didn't even work, though. I don't think that was right because the same day on my regular machine and everything, I was getting 63 to 65 megabits every time I tested. So, but it was working and working good. Not 5 megabits like that Kingston does. I don't know if there's something wrong with it or what's going on. And then the other thing is, that's on my D-Link router. Now, if I try to plug in the other cable I have down there, just ready to plug into machines that's plugged into the TP-Link, it would not even work on either one of the cards in this thing. I don't know what's going on there. I tried rebooting the router and stuff, and it all was making me just like aggravated. So, but I do know that what it all boils down to, yeah, I think I will go ahead and upgrade the BIOS just to, I'll check and see if it's, I don't remember if I might have already, I don't think I upgraded it, but I might have. So, I've already downloaded that, and I'm going to check it and see, and see if it needs to be upgraded. Because since this CPU is, well, it's not on the supported list, and so maybe an upgrade would of the original website. Let me go to. I've got that up here. Well, as soon as I get it open, let me go ahead and recheck my stream. I had it up and ready to go, but I didn't want to leave too many things running on the machine until I need them, But previous session, there we go. So yeah, I did a lot of research and decided to go ahead and use the 8300 processor, and it does work great. And I don't think so far it's not acting like it wants to overheat or anything. And I may try overclocking a little bit, but right now it's running. I put it on. This motherboard has an auto overclock setting, and that's what I've left it on always. And it's running at 3300 megahertz, 3.3 gigahertz, I guess it would be, something like that. And it's the very bottom is 32, so I guess it's bumped it up just a hair, I guess. So I want to see. Well, one of the first things I want to see is I got to thinking, well, go to the support. Let's see, downloads. I also, well, maybe there is actually, select your OS. Let's see if they even list Linux in here. No, they don't. Beta Zone? What's Beta Zone? Okay, so they're not going to provide any. Let's see what Beta Zone is. Yeah, there's different versions of. That's high definition audio and fast RAM utility. Let's see when it says all. Yeah, so it's all Windows. They don't provide anything for anything Linux. I did know before I bought it years ago that it would work with Linux. I made sure of that. Of course it does. But okay, first question answered. They don't provide any kind of drivers for Linux. Now there is one. I don't know what you do. There is a way you can run a Windows driver. You know what? I might, if I was going to use a Windows driver, I'd probably go with Windows XP. It'd probably be more compatible with doing that. There's a way, I forgot what you call it, but you can use a particular app in Linux. I'd have to go back and figure it out. That will NVIDIA driver that will allow you to run use a Windows driver in Linux, if that's your but it's really I don't know. I've never had to do it. I've always found a driver either if it's not in the repositories of my distro, then it's provided by the by some project. Maybe it's just not in the repos or by the manufacturer even, but well, of course I see there's no Linux drivers whatsoever provided by NVIDIA, but by ASRock. But let's see, NVIDIA all-in driver. What I'm looking for is network. Oh, they're saying, I see it right there, LAN. ASRock fast LAN utility. I guess I'll better just read each thing. Network driver is what I want, and I think it's actually, let's look again at the specs, because I think it actually has, see the chip, this is, okay, CPU, okay, chipset NVIDIA G4 725N4, okay, now that's the GPU, let's see, LAN. Oh, it's a gigabit. Somehow I looked at something wrong and I thought it had an NVIDIA LAN card. I had never heard of one before, LAN chip, but it's a gigabit. Oh, gigabit. I'm sorry. Gigabit is the speed. You already. Realtek. It is a Realtek. After all, Giga PHY Realtek. Okay, right there. Now, So RTL8211CL. That's what I'm needing is a driver for that. See, I looked the other day. Somehow I got the idea that it was an NVIDIA network driver. And there's more specs down there. But I have just been all the normal and things I always know to do first. I have been forgetting lately. I'm still working through stuff, but I'm going in the weirdest circles. Now, first thing I think I'll do, I'm going to search and see if I have already downloaded something like that. Well, there's two. I need to look in the repos. Let's see if there's anything on my system. Well, it wouldn't be there. If it was going to be there, it would be on that drive. I think that would be. I'm just going to put that in there, just the model number. That'll take a while to search, so I'm going to get that started. This is actually a pretty darn. It'll search my whole Seagate expansion drive. That's a lot of data. I've got like 2 more terabyte of data on there, and it'll search all that within about 5. Well, it depends on 5 minutes, I think. Now let me go into the repos and see if there's that driver in Fedora repos. This is Fedora 23, but let's see. Password for root. I think that's it. I always get in Fedora 23. I get that SC Linux alert every time I log in as root. Now, okay, so I don't think I need. That's probably too much information there, but let's see. Giga PHY. Okay, so the Giga PHY signifies. This is the first thing I should have done the first day I had trouble. I could have went straight to that spec sheet. I've looked at it a jillion times and found the model number of. The model of the Ethernet chip. At least it's even cooler tonight. It's 58 outside. I would just now remembered to look. It's actually, well, up in Fort Worth it's 64, but out here in my backyard in Azle it's 58 degrees at the side of my house. I got a little antenna, a little thermometer with a lead that goes outside. Okay, I think it's through its search. I'm gonna go ahead and say Realtek. Okay, no. If I can find it. I'm going to take that CL off of the end. Maybe that would make a difference. No? Okay, let's look for Realtek then. There. Now we're getting some Realtek. Okay. This package can turn your RTL 28 TV dongle into an SDR receiver. That would be fun, but I don't have one of those. Okay. Driver for Realtek RTL8211CL based SDR. And the SDR is a SDR software-defined radio. SDR software-defined radio. So that's the only thing to do with Realtek in there. Well, that's weird. Of course, to really know, I need to be in the Fedora 27 repos anyway, but So maybe, so well, obviously it's not. Oh, well, there's okay. Here's something I forgot to mention. I have the RPM Fusion repos in this one. I haven't installed the RPM, set up the repositories. And let's see, I'll show you. Okay, that's not it either. There, repositories. Okay, RPM Fusion. That is where you may have to go to get some of these things that are not completely open source, but have them in your repos. So yeah, see, this I've installed, and like when I installed Vivaldi web browser, I got a repo along with it automatically. Google Talk plugin repo for Google Talk plugin, and the RPM Fusion, I put those in there. Myself, So now how do I get undo? How do I get out of there? Huh. I guess you just do that. Oh, what did I do? Click on check for updates or something? Oh, I just went to the terminal. Okay, so well, there's no sense in doing extensive searches in the Fedora 23. I need to do that, and that's still searching. I'll just do a Google search for it. Just see what comes up. And that's Wi-Fi. I don't have Wi-Fi, but let's see. Okay, RTL11. Here we go. Realtek.com. Now maybe we're getting somewhere. GitHub. Wi-Fi. I don't have Wi-Fi. This is a regular network driver. Okay, integrated 10100. Let's see. RTL. There. Yeah, that's the right one. Let's see what this looks like here. I may have already. The reason I'm searching my backup drive, I may have already downloaded it and installed it. I might have had to do this and install it in Fedora 26, and I just don't remember. I'm not going to read every bit of this, but okay, but I don't see anything about a driver. PCIe. Okay. But this is their website. So well, what family am I in? I don't PCIe FE. PCIe GBE. Well, Giga PHY is what this thing is called. So nothing there. Okay, I was hoping to find something. I'm just going to search for Realtek. It'll be a lot to sift through, but go back. Whoops, too far. Oh, there's one not working. Yeah, let's see. I think we're going to be talking about Wi-Fi. That's real common that you have to go find the driver for that. So I'm using the page search. Wi-Fi won't work. Sometimes you have to know what chip you got. That's what they were saying in there. So that's see if you have anything. If you have an Ethernet port, try updating your kernel, installing Wi-Fi Realtek firmware packages. Search them in Yum Extender, Dragora, and you may stop you from having to fiddle around with all this crap. And usually, a lot of times it does, especially if you have RPM Fusion already set up. Well, these are that's that's not the kind of downloads I was looking for. Okay, GBE is, I would think if it's in any PCIe GBE is probably gigabit. Okay, I'm starting to see those numbers, similar numbers. I can't sift through all that by myself, but well, none of those are the same. RTL8211. Nope, not a single one of them. Sometimes the page doesn't search well. You can't just depend on that. Okay, let's see if it's actually an FE. These don't look like they're anywhere near. Yeah. Well, let's use that download search. Okay, let's try. I'm on their site, so I probably don't need the name of their product anyway. Data sheets. I want more than just data sheets. Log in. Oh, development partners only. Okay. So that's different, but that's good information, so I'm going to keep that. Let's see. I'm going to move this over. It won't actually go to the other window, but it'll separate it from these so that I can bookmark all this. I should go look through my bookmarks too. Before I go any further, I just realized that's not really going to help me. It's for Wi-Fi. Let's see. I may have, if I've already done all this before, I can find it in my bookmarks. There's my search from today. Looks like I haven't. At least not on this machine. One thing I was thinking about doing was getting Mom's that 4-door 26 system that did work on the ASRock and putting that hard drive. I got the hard drive laying over here under on my desk, in my desk, uh, putting it in the machine and booting it up and seeing what happens. Sometimes you can do that quicker, do hardware work quicker than you can do searches and stuff. All right, let's unnarrow our search a little bit. Oops, there it is again, Wi-Fi. But if I can, that may help me find out where the driver is. Because if it's it'll be for both of them, you know. They don't have separate Wi-Fi and, you know, wired drivers. If it's a driver for that supports Wi-Fi, it should do both, right? That's what I remember. Got my fan running because I was planning on running Mom's machine and I knew I'd get really hot. I think it's kind of bothering making me cough and hack more. I don't have her machine running yet. I just realized, I was like, it actually feels kind of cool in here. It's not cool, but, well, I got my front window wide open and it's 74.4 in here. But the air outside, like I said, is 58 while it goes. So that's a different network. RTL8211. And I think there's different ones, like, you know, this is a CL. Yeah, see, that's not anything to do with. Well, I don't want to keep saving stuff that don't have anything to do with. Solved. It's on Ubuntu, but here we go. Have the ASRock. That's what my motherboard went to. That's already in one of my folders. Where is it? It's in the folder for the ASRock motherboard. Okay. This is Windows, though. Oh. I guess he's tried both. It's only been mentioned once on there, so I can't just search to the next. This is all a bunch of codes. But see, this is Ubuntu is based on Debian, and so not all the apps in Debian, like it's telling you to install apps and stuff. Drivers show. Well, boy, I would have thought I would have saw more. Let's just do this. Do Linux driver. Got tape on my thumb. If you can narrow it down to your actual distro and even the release, you know, then it's better, but you can't always do that. Oh, downloads Realtek. But say, like, they usually just list Linux in general, you know, like in a lot of places. So, okay, now what do we got? Well, we don't have that. That's where I already was. RTL8211. Everything but. And I already did that. That's that same site. Yeah. Oops. And all I have is data sheets there. Okay. Update time, Realtek. RTL8211B. I think that's the same page, looks to me like. Wait, what's that? Oh, that's Linux Mint, but that is the right one, I think. Alright, 8211, they got a space in there, but yep, that's this motherboard. Exactly the same. But sometimes you can interpret. Let's see, this is Fedora, so let's look here. I think, no, this is Linux questions. That's 8211B. Mine is CL. This one is the exact same one. Okay, so just a bunch of code there. Oh, yeah. Well, looks like somebody asked a question and then somebody answered it and they didn't go any further. But this command might tell me sometimes what shows up in those apps is not the same. This looks like a command that might run in my system in Fedora or Bane, so let's see. And I'll just do it as, yeah, there we go. Okay. That, well, that's this machine. Of course, I forget where I'm at. I'd have to do that on the other machine. But let's see what it told me. I don't see anything that tells what an Ethernet adapter is. All I see is yeah. I do not see anything about oh, part of the command didn't work. INXI command not found. So part of it worked and part of it didn't. The INXI at the beginning there. Probably that works in Bane. Mint is based on Bane too, wherever I'm at here. They said they were in Mint, I think. Somewhere I got that. Yeah, Linux Mint forums. So well, I'm gonna start to say originally. Well, it will be back Linux 9, the last Linux Mint 9. I think I used a little bit newer one than that, but they used to have Linux Mint Bane, and then they had the main version. They're like was based on Ubuntu, which Ubuntu is based on Bane. So, so I'm correct, but in case you wanted to correct me, yeah, it's based on Ubuntu, but Ubuntu is based on Bane. Now they don't have Linux Mint Bane anymore, so but it's still based on Bane. It's kind of weird. It's built on Ubuntu is built on Bane, and then they built another distro off of Bane. I mean, off of Ubuntu. I can't say it. Anyway, maybe you get what I was trying to say. Okay, so yeah, part of that command didn't work. So that's not really going to be any good for me. I'd have to find a command for well, I can't believe it's this hard to find. Now that I've got in my head what I actually need to be looking for, can't believe it's still this hard to find it. Just find the driver for that particular what do we got? Sound Realtek. Those are both sound drivers for Mom's machine, but that is a Realtek audio card, evidently. Let's go see. Sound Realtek. Well, that'd be for her BioStar. Yeah, it's a Windows driver anyway, but that's for her BioStar motherboard. Her original machine. I mean, her original motherboard for XP and 7. High definition audio. So that is the only thing Realtek I have on my Seagate expansion drive. I already searched for the that model number, didn't I? Yeah. Okay. So now I'm kind of a bit perturbed. Where are my CDs for that thing? I'm going to close these extra. Well, let's leave that one open. I already went to their. Yeah, I already went to their driver page, right? Let's look one more time. Go to the drive downloads. Oh yeah, you don't have any. Oops, I had one I needed in there, and I just quickly. You can undo in there. I didn't really remember that. Oh. Well, maybe I can find it again. No. Just have to. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh yeah, I forgot it was Bastion LAN utility. Fast LAN utility. Let's see what this is. I know it's going to be a Windows thing. Let's go make sure. I have the CDs, you know, that came with the motherboard, but I don't. They're not going to have anything for Linux on there. Yeah. So I don't know if that's actually a driver install utility or. I'm going to change that file name so I'll know what the heck it is. That has got so much extra weird crap in there. Let's fix that. This is one of my favorite. It's a weird thing it does. It won't. You can't move it. But if you when you open it up, maximize it, unmaximize it. Now I can move it. So I want to get rid of all those spaces and dots. And parentheses, all those things that for one thing it messes up, you know, most applications, most file managers are gonna get rid of that underscore too. It won't hurt anything, but I don't like the way it looks. Now the only thing I got left is an extra. That was a parentheses. I could have. Okay, here's what I can do. that one that's on the right, instead of putting a deal after it, since I didn't realize it was at the end. Now it's gone. Okay, now it got to be a good file name, and it's because if you've got dots in the file name, you're liable to have you'll end up with some file managers will see, um, they'll make the file extension that whole rest of the file name. So you've probably seen that. So that's not going to help me right now, but I'm just going to keep it since I've got it. Okay. Yeah, I think I have the CDs right down here on my tray in my desk, in my pull-out shelf, but they're not going to be anything to do with Linux in there. No, there won't. Okay, so what I'm thinking now is nothing to do with Realtek. Sometimes they use the word LAN, sometimes they use network, sometimes they'll say NIC, Okay, so whatever that is, it would be only be helpful for Windows. So let's see. I think I'll close the extra window now. I think that most of these Ethernet drivers come with the Linux kernel, the support for them. Okay, now this might be something right here. Let's see. But it's not there. It's not working. ECL. Alright, I found something. Let's see what I found. Trouble connecting to certain types of devices caused by an unstable PLL when configuring a master. A fix has been applied to U-boot. Okay. We'll go there. Let's see. Yep. That is the... Oh wait, there's another spot. Uses the Broadcom switch IC instead. No Realtek drivers are needed. So, yeah. Are they telling me that I actually need a Broadcom driver? Sometimes you have to get down to know what chip is doing the work. That's interesting. Okay, let's go here. U-boot, that's usually used for like ARM processors and phones and stuff, mobile phones. There it is. I don't know, but that's really just more release information, a patch. Okay, so that's beginning to kind of tell me something, I think, but I'm not finding anything that I can just download to fix it. Open WRP. We're talking about routers now. Open WRT. Okay, so mine is missing the CL. Sometimes they put a space or a parentheses. Okay, well, I'm going to go the other route that I had in mind. Let me look at my notes. Notes to self here. Good time to check my stream anyway. Let's see. Close the browser just to make sure the machine's not getting. Oh yeah, let's close this too. Crusader was using 8% of the CPU, so that's why I want to close it. All right, now. Okay, yeah, the drive. I'm going to put that hard drive in the machine, that Fedora 26 hard drive, and boot it up, and you see it should work because it was already working. Now, what it'll do with that 8-core CPU, I don't know, because it had the dual core on it before. But maybe I'll find I may have downloaded a driver and it may be left in the downloads folder. That's what I'm thinking. And between if I can just get it installed, then you know, if it has an update, then it from wherever the source it came from, then it'd get updated, you know, when I do my updates in Fedora 27. I can't believe I couldn't find anything at all. And then, and if everything fails to get that going, I'll have to go out in the garage and find a machine that has a, you know, a regular network card in it, a NIC, and take it out, because one that, you know, that works. I mean, but actually I can't think of any machines that would have, you know, if it does have a card in it, it should work. But yeah, and update the BIOS. I think I'll put that hard drive, that Fedora 26 hard drive in there first, see what goes on with that, and then probably before I go a whole lot further, I'll go ahead and update the BIOS, because what if I'm wrong and that that actually does have something to do with it, you know. But it seems normal. I mean, I can turn it on and turn it off in this BIOS. It works perfectly with that old Windows XP Live CD, you know, so. So, yeah, I guess that's pretty much the extent of my notes. So, just get over there and start doing that. And switch. Go to the wireless mic. Okay. And switch. Yep. Let's get over there then. Oh, I didn't. Well, I heard it. I heard the double. What did I do? I paused it. Go to the wireless mic. Yep. Let's get over there then. Okay. Wow. sometimes things go really unexpectedly with things. Hard drive. Let's get that hard drive. Where is it? There it is. Yeah. Right there. Fedora 26. Mom's put a little sticky note on it. It's a WD-2500. Let's look at some of these really matter where you put the cable select. Let's see where those pins are. Oh, okay, it's the very last one towards power. Yeah, it's on cable select. That probably will work just fine. These others, I really don't even know what they're on. Except for I know it boots the way I want it to. So, actually, it has another. It's got plenty. It's got the power. It's got the. It's got the cables in there. I've got another SATA cable or two in my hat box of cables. I literally have an old 70s hat box with cables in it down there. And bang into the... Ow! Yeah. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. When I touch my soldering iron just for a brief second, but not even the tip of it, just the kind of ring around up towards the, you know, where the handle's at, close to the handle, it just burnt the living crap out of me, and I didn't know it till later. I mean, I knew it hurt, but I didn't think I got all burnt bad. So, it was hot. So yeah, I got another port, SATA port, and let's see. Actually, what I can do is that, and then if I go plug them all in, then I'll do it like that. And actually, what I think I'll do is leave just plug in the one that I want to actually boot to. That's a way quicker way to do that than, you know, I tried to use Super Grub Disk and everything to do that. I had, I don't know, maybe I didn't try the right one. I couldn't remember which one was the quick and easy one to use for that. But it was fine in the Mint, but not fine in the Fedora 14. Oh, I was using the newer version. Oh, dadgummit. I just about knocked everything down. I just about turned over the 10-inch tablet back here behind me. Oh, I'm on the wrong, not the camera I meant to get. Go ahead and put it on screen so that I can see what happened to it. I just caught it as it was falling. Man, that would have been bad. That could hurt it. Also, something fell. What am I on here? Oh, see my little man, my little robot man? He's a wind-up robot. And he's got Q-tips that he holds. That's supposed, it's a drum. And so that I thought that looked like a drum. Damn it, it disappeared. Well, I don't think more. Okay. What's the deal? He is what makes this thing lean. I put it in here on this music stand. Oh, there it is. He makes this tablet lean up just enough so that, and those help keep him from falling off. Okay, so yeah, everything's completely out of whack. But I ran into the music stand with the chair, is what happened. So it's all messed up. There. I think I'll move it back a little bit. I guess normally I don't have it quite as. Yeah, this takes me a while to get this stuff all set up. So it's kind of a little bit aggravating that I'm having the trouble here. There. Oh, what happened? Takes it a while to show the results of what I've done. I think that was the wrong way. That thing is way more delayed than I realized. Oh, I can look on the screen and tell. There we go. I was looking over there at my preview. Won't quit moving for quite a while there. Okay. Yeah, that'll do. I'm just chilly. I'm gonna turn that fan off. I can't believe I'm chilly. Well, I won't be chilly in a minute when I turn this thing on. Well, it's getting chilly enough to me that it's bothering me, and I think it's making me, you know, cough and more and everything. So, let's get over here. Wow. I guess I had that just enough. Either I shoved my chair back way further because I forgot, you know, or I had it just that much closer that I, you know, hit it. So glad I caught that. That's that 8-core tablet I bought Mom for Christmas. I haven't been using it at all myself. I haven't touched it, but lately the other day, a week or so ago, I said, well, you know what? She's really not using it. And I thought, well, I could at least get a little use out of it, you know, using it for a camera. I mean, I had thought about it a few times. I thought, well, if I've got it, she can't use it, you know. But if she's not going to really use it hardly at all, then she can't remember how to run Android. She used to use her little 7-inch Amazon tablet. My sister got her a couple 2 or 3 years ago. Maybe she didn't. I thought she was using it fairly often. So that's why I thought that. And this is a phablet. It can actually be 2 phones. It's got 2 SIM cards. But she was what actually hasn't really got the idea. She thinks it's too big, but with a phone, the best thing for her, especially since she doesn't hear good, the thing for her to do is to either use her little. I've got her a Bluetooth speaker that she uses with the TV, and she could use it with that too. And we could get her a Bluetooth ear set, you know, headset. So I can just put this in there, this hard drive, and I've got some screws in it. I had some that, you know, the right threads. So I didn't want to. Sometimes it's hard to find the right ones. So let's see. Oh, the cable. I was just moving my chair. Everything fell apart there. I was moving my chair to get. Can't figure out where to put stuff. To get one of those SATA cables out. I've got things stacked up. I've got, let's see, how am I going to do this? I guess I'll just lay them on the ground. I've got some audio cables that go over to my mixer ready. They're plugged into the mixer, and then they're over here laying on draped over my hat box, ready to be used at different times for different things. But the problem is, when I want to get the hat box, they're in the way. The thing is covered in dust. It's been down there for a while. I want to wipe it off before I start getting into it. Somebody's riding their motorcycle. I like big motors. I like deep tone motors. Motorcycles, cars, trucks, whatever. Of course, I like big blocks even better than small blocks as far as motors goes. But I always like the sound of a Harley. Never had a Harley though. I used to ride dirt bikes, but I had a street. Actually, oddly enough, I bought a brand new street bike back in the '80s. Thought I would ride it to work. But what I really wanted was a Yamaha XT500 enduro bike, trail street bike, and it was like brand new, $1,800. And I thought, oh, I don't know. That was kind of, I thought they had a Yamaha Special 2400 street bike, brand new, for $1,300. And I thought that was more, responsible to buy the cheaper one. But then once I got it, somebody offered to pay me to ride with me to work, and in order to ride that street bike out on the street, it was really not much fun just going around by myself. I was married and had 3 kids, little kids. So in order to take my wife out riding, I had to go take my kids to grandma's or somewhere in the car. We'd have to go in 2 vehicles and then go ride for a little while, then go back. So I hardly did it about 3 times. And what I really liked was riding in the dirt anyway. And so I should have bought the XT500. And so anyway, I had a couple of old, let's see, what did I have? Oh, I had a Bull Taco circle track bike, dirt bike, 185, Bull Taco 185 that I actually got. How did I get that? Oh, when I sold that street bike in order to get money and get out from under the payments, because it was payments, and to get money for down payment on my land that I bought right after that. And a guy gave me that Bull Taco in trade, kind of like a down payment or something. And not a down payment, but I let him take up the payments on my bike. Actually, I think he just went and paid it off, but and then he gave me that Bull Taco. And because I had only had it a year or two, it wasn't much paid down on it, So let's get this plugged in. Let's see. I don't know if I can get this endoscope. It's plugged in, so let's use it. If I can get this endoscope lined up here, I can where's my spot that I'm trying to go to? Here we are. Now, we'll do double view. We'll do the Ready Bunch view. There we go. So there's where I'm going. And so my L is, where's the L? I can't, which one is in the way? This one? I thought that would help me see, but it doesn't. It lets you see what I'm doing, but it doesn't help me see. L, okay, it comes back towards me, so like that. Using my magnifying glass. Actually, I don't really need the cable plugged in right now, but it won't hurt. There. Just put it back out that way until I'm ready to plug in the hard drive. Lift those open there. And screws. I don't have my shorts on with the tool pouches on the side, so I don't know where to put things. Let's see.
trying to see if there's a spot where I can do this easily for myself and be able to let you get at least somewhat see what I'm doing. I got to get these screws out of the side of here. I didn't want to do it over the computer case and drop them down in there if I drop them. That's what I was thinking. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and put it in there because the chances are I'll want to stand the machine up, and if I leave it loose, I've done it before, the first thing I'll do is say, oh, I'm going to stand that up. Sometimes I'll do them while they're running, you know, and well, the hard drive goes kabang. Luckily, I haven't ever had it like get into a fan or do anything bad, but you got to plan ahead when you're forgetful. Okay, so yeah, they're already on cable select, so that was in the bottom rack, so this one will just go up this way by default. Can I get it in there without taking the memory out? I hope so. May have to take the memory out to get one in there. That's even worse. All those cables are this is not a real tight. I guess it's tighter than I thought it was. Let me get that switch back. I'm not getting any use out of the endoscope now. I'm afraid I'm moving this stuff around so much, I figure it's going to fall. So I really think I'm going to have to take out the RAM to do this. I don't want to, but it's so close to making it. It's got it tilted quite a bit. Well, it's not hard to take out, so that cable there. I'll just take them both out so I won't have any trouble. Now we should be all right. Oh, this is not an SATA drive. I guess it would help if you'd pay attention to those sorts of things. I kept having the funniest feeling while I was doing all that. So what I need is, I've got a cable over there. Let's see. Let's just put this back in the hat box. Right now. Oh, my stool's falling over. I've got a little stool down there that I actually don't put my feet on. I put my little head pillow on because I use my old Dell 400 desktop computer, not the tower kind like this, but a real desktop computer, as my stool. It used to be my server for years. What have I got in there? Okay. And I got this, when Jeff gave me the IBM 2.5 gigahertz Celeron, single core. It's not very loud, not make a lot of heat. It's real good for a server. That's when I started using that. And I've been using it at least 2 years now. Okay, so I think I still have cable over here somewhere. Yep. From when I took it out of the I'm still going to call that ASRock, I guess. This is the new ASRock, the old ASRock. But here's the IDE header right there. So let's plug them in. No, Virginia, all hard drives are not SATA. Once upon a time, there was an interface called IDE. Okay. Who's Virginia? That's the girl from the little girl from the Christmas Story, silly. Okay, why did I plug that in before I got the hard drive in there? Well, I was going to plug in. I was going to go ahead and plug it into the hard drive. That's why, but that's not going to be a good idea. I'm just making myself more work. Huh. That's got full slots instead of. Let's see, like this one here. I don't want to. I want at least the hard drives with space between them because. Doesn't want to. That's where floppies go normally. It gives you a lot of adjustment, but the screws don't look. Sorry, phone. Don't look like they're going to line up at all. But you know what? That is squeezed really nicely. So I'm just going to. Let's see. Can I get even one or two in there? I don't want it right that close to there, really. I mean, it's not that close. Let's see. Look, can I even get to it to get it in there? I don't plan on leaving this. That's why I'm going, well, that's not where I want it, you know. Let's see. Well, this is how, yeah, there we go. They line up. See, I don't like them being that close, and it makes them get hotter. They heat each other up. There's just enough room for some airflow, but well, it's not going to stay, so. But it'll be hard to plug the cables in if I don't at least have a couple of screws in it. So we'll go ahead and put it right there. It's not going to be in there for that long, I don't think. I mean, sometimes I do this temporary stuff and it ends up lasting a couple weeks or a month or something while I'm trying to figure things out, but. Yeah, that's why I'm going to the trouble to. I've got all different sizes of screws here. Oh, I see. Different size. There's the same right threads, but they're different lengths and everything. I guess I didn't. See, I didn't have a. Come on, hands, work. Well, it's still a small, doesn't matter. I wanted my screw heads to be the same size. That's what I'm fiddling around with. Silly. Well, it's not silly, but anyway. That's what was happening there. I've really lost track of. I've got two bottles with kind of different little sets of screws in them. I don't know what machines it came out of or anything anymore. But I'm going to put these in one of them because I don't want to lose them. They're just going to have to go back into the main screw container because they don't really match this particular machine anymore. Okay, make sure these didn't get knocked loose. But yeah, I do have a regular. I wonder if I would rather see it. I had done that. I guess I thought if I'd put something in there, I might put it in that slot there. I had it like that, but I mean like that. Yeah, that'll keep it more out of my way, I think. If I do it like that, then. But right now I don't want that one plugged in because I want it to. I'm going to leave the one I don't want to boot to unplugged is what I'm going to do. So I guess I'll do that too. I'm going to have to get one of these. Sometimes, well, I don't think it'll matter. You know, having the data cable plugged in. I used to do it all the time with IDE. I don't think it would make any real difference with just because it's, you know, SATA. I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to route that. Yeah, that'd probably be all right. I don't want anything in a bind. Let's see. The little tab is there. Let's see. Some of these don't have one, but this one does. That's good because it gets hard to figure out where to put it if it doesn't have one. But I gotta be able to see, that's for sure. So we have the cable select. Well, it's not really going to matter unless I turn it on with all of them plugged in anyway. But instead of well, see, that's why I started to plug it all in ahead of time, because it can be real tricky. Am I going the wrong way? Yes. That's what those dummy pins are for, people like me. Put that memory in there first. That cable's gonna fight me. Well, no, let's don't. Let's get it in there, and then I can move it. I'm not sure which way I want it to go anyway. I might want it to go up in here. Yeah, I do. That'll be more out of the way. Yeah, that way it won't be in any way of any airflow around the processor or anything. Now, now let's put the memory in. Let's see. Yeah, it'll only go one way. Gotta hold on to this board. It's you do have to get it in the slot though. It doesn't have a support on that corner. I have to pull it up. But the blue one is for the DDR3 and the yellow ones are for DDR2. Okay. There we go. Now, that can go a little more down. There we go. That's a little better. A little less in the way. Now, let's get a regular Molex. These are all tied up. So let's see. I think I can leave it that way, maybe. We'll see. Yeah. There we go. That'll be fine. That fan's got a good guard on it. Even if I stood it up, it'd be alright. Okay. Because it's, like I said, this is coming back out. It's not an install. Not a permanent install. Okay. I think I could just, leave it laying on its side. Because I'm not planning on using the CD drive. That's the only reason I'd have to stand it up, just to use the DVD drive. Okay, now. Oh, that's the one that's plugged into the DVD. That's why it's not wrapped up in the... Okay, now it's really only got Fedora 26 on it. Now these two are unplugged. I don't think, as far as I can remember, having the SATA cables plugged in won't hurt. Now, I could unplug them, but they're a little tricky to get lined up. So if it doesn't hurt anything, I'm going to leave it. I've got my preview playing, but I forgot to listen to the sound and get out of there. Let's see. Let's turn it back this way. It can kind of be, well, it's hard to see. I can't see it good like. Yeah, we're going good. I'm going to plug in all my cables. Let's see. Let's put this over here for now. Put my screwdriver down there before I knock it off. Now, I think I might have. Felt like it wasn't going on straight. I want to make sure I didn't have a pin bent over. I've got one that's loose as a goose, about ready to break off. There. Uh-oh. Still felt like it was too much resistance. Huh? Why is it? I don't know. Sometimes those screws will get like that and kind of hang themselves. The tie down the screws. There. Okay. Now, I'm going to hook up the Ethernet because that's part of what I expect to work. And it should work, assuming I don't see really any reason why, you know, this Fedora 26 won't boot on this here. XP did on this, you know, it was a dual core, 2 gig of RAM. Now it's an 8 core with 8 gig of RAM, and it's the ASRock motherboard instead of the BioStar motherboard. But should be fine. Thing kind of went down some more, didn't it? Or something changed. Looks like it. No, that's fine. I'm gonna leave it. Okay. The camera is what I was talking about. That'll probably, well, it'll be all right. Let's put that on there so I won't forget which one that is. It'll get hot, it'll come off of there. You know that, right? I'm just trying to think of a place to put it where it will get messed up. How about right there? I still want to put it back on there when I'm done. Because when it's laying in the shelf, I won't have a clue what it is unless I plug it in and turn it on. Okay, now. I believe we're ready to turn on. Look again, see if I've forgotten anything. Door I'm going to leave off. Yeah, okay. I'm going to have to get the, yeah, I'll have to put the camera over on, you know, so we can see the monitor, so you and I, we can all see the monitor on the video. And I don't have any scenes where I can show both. The 10-inch tablet's only got one scene. That's it right there. Okay, now. I'll go ahead and switch back to the other mic, I guess.
Okay, back on this M58? Yeah, okay. Right, we're almost ready here. My chair. Okay, I had to rearrange the wheels of my chair. Because one of them is leaned so bad that it makes my chair feel like it's going to tip over backwards. Okay. I wanted my neck pillow because my neck is feeling tired. Okay, boot. See if it's going to be all right. There we go. I'm going to go into BIOS. I may have missed it. Sure didn't stay in BIOS selection mode very long. Well, let's just let it boot up then. I missed it. If it works, it works. I guess I made it. Yeah, I made it stop the countdown. So let's go ahead and select it. I was kind of thinking I might ought to go in. Let's watch the boot up and see if we get errors and stuff. I kind of thought I might, you know, because if I had those, I left those SATA cables plugged in. Didn't know if I really actually might be causing some trouble doing that, but it seems just fine. I don't see a single error so far. I haven't seen everything going by, but because I keep looking over at my preview and stuff, I was making sure that was working. Okay, so we should have networking. If we don't, then oh, there it is right there. Network Manager. Started it. No errors. It's the bottom one on the screen right now. Usually does kind of stop right there. I guess that's one of the slower things to get done, you know, when you're booting up. Now, well, unless it doesn't work, it's sitting there longer than I would expect. No, I think it's okay. I never see an error. Now this is the Fedora 26. I had originally just built it, you know, for myself on the what I call the ASRock. This motherboard, but with the dual core processor and 2 gig of RAM. Now it's the ASRock motherboard in mom's box, but it has an 8 core processor and 8 gig of RAM. So actually it's closer, you know, to what than the other, you know, the other hard drive. I had her original BioStore motherboard, her 2 core processor, and her 2 gig RAM, 2 gigs of RAM. Oh, it ain't connected to the internet. It's sitting there trying to connect. So it must have the same, and we're getting that same crash. The problem is we're not just getting it in the kernel crash. The problem is we're not just getting it in the installed version, but we're getting it. The network's not connecting, just like it has been doing. So, so maybe it really is. The more I think about it, well, I kind of saw a couple of things that kind of reminded me that I think that network card stuff is built into the Linux kernel for the wired ones anyway. Well, I think it's built in for all of them really. The ones that it does support out of the box, I'm beginning to kind of think that I remember that now. Well, I think I read something that said that just a while ago. So they won't connect. It'll just keep trying to connect. So, but like I said, with the Wi-Fi, well, I guess if it's not in the kernel, you know, if it's not already in the Linux kernel, then you do have to go install the Wi-Fi driver. because I've had to do it on the laptops. I think. Well, depending on what version, you know, like with Fedora, Debian, or whatever. Usually Debian for sure. Like I said the other day, the Dell 6000, it doesn't have Wi-Fi hook. It's not no driver on it. It doesn't do Wi-Fi. I haven't ever bothered to fix it. So you know, I'm sure this will run just as well as it did. Well, even better because this is XFCE lightweight desktop. I'm not going to really open stuff up because there's no internet or anything. I mean, I could open up the file browser. Oh yeah, let's go in there and like I was saying, go in the downloads, see if there's anything that whether I BIOS to motherboard, NVIDIA Linux display, OpenOffice, NVIDIA GeForce. That's probably the I don't remember the model. What's that? Oh, okay. This would be the AS. This is probably the ASRock onboard display driver information. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Realtek doesn't. Nothing that says Realtek. Yeah, NVIDIA drivers, and actually just some web pages that I saved. Well, there's NVIDIA PAR2. I think that is actually, that's such an odd file extension, PAR2. I think that is actually a I did have Windows 7 on this thing when it was ASRock too at one time. I may have saved all these downloads stuff. I'm not sure what that is. Yeah. What I was trying to say is I was starting to say, now maybe I'm completely wrong, but Windows, there's this really odd file extension you get when you save a sequence of, there was this thing in Windows 7 to record we use it to record not really a desktop video but screenshots all in a row when you're and you would show like it's kind of almost like it was making a macro, you know, and it would show the problem that you're having so you could show it to someone who's going to help you or whatever. But I don't know. But anyway, this could actually be part. I've never seen anything. I don't remember anything like that. A whole bunch of, you know, separate. They show they look like they're condensed files, compressed files though. But that says run, and then all these could be the rest of it. Run PAR2, and then all these could be the rest of a compressed file, but. Open with, yes, it doesn't, this system doesn't know what in the world it is. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about it. There's another one that just says that driver and run. So that they could go with that. But then there's some HTML files. There's another one that says run. I don't know. I can't remember. But I think that's to do with the Windows drivers, not Linux drivers. Anyway, I don't know. I mean, I use Linux all day, every day, and PAR2 and run is just not something I see. So let's click back up through here. Epson, Linux distros. So yeah, there's nothing about Realtek or network or drivers or anything in here except that NVIDIA, and that NVIDIA is going to be the NVIDIA display driver on this motherboard. I'm pretty sure about that. Let's go ahead and do a search for Realtek though. What is it? REALTEK? I think. Well, there's something I didn't see. Well, that's the sound, Realtek sound for that thing. 16 AM, and that's the only Realtek there. Where is it? 16. There it is. Yeah. I saw something about that a while ago. That was the audio driver. I might have had to lib alpha. Some of this stuff I'm really wondering why I have it in there. Some of it I know what it is. BRM fax, that's mom's brother printer she used to have, scanner fax. RPM Fusion, just some numbers on the file, I don't know. SWLADSP, that's LADSP SHW. Well, that's not what I'm looking for, so let's don't get too curious here. Geeksbox, that's a media player Linux distro. Unit Bootin, that is an app for writing ISOs to a USB stick. Sound card, lib npf alpha. It's not opening up in the standard, it's opening up in the wrong thing. Normally you just click on it and you see it, you know, right there within. I mean, it takes more work. Okay, there we go. I wanted to see the readme in some of these, that's what I was going for. But something's changed in here, it's not doing it in Crusader like normal. It's using this other app, X Archiver. And that's all there was to it. Outlook PST import module. That's it. So that's an Outlook plugin? XPI. Well, if I'd have read the extension, I would have known that. The one I was actually wondering, this one was the one I was wondering what it was. This is telling you how to install it, but I don't know what the what happened to the find. Well, that is Linux, okay. And it's still trying to connect to the internet. Let's see. News. See what news has to say. It's nothing. I often wonder, sometimes they do that a lot. Why is there a file in there that's blank? Why put it in there if it's going to be blank? README, let's see what README says. I still don't know what the app is. Well, it's not what I want, is it? Sometimes things that start with a lib might actually have they can have all kinds of things in them. They might be part of a driver. They may be part of all kinds of things. That's why I just kept messing with it. MFC cups wrapper. MFC. It's to a printer. I'm not sure if it wouldn't be the Epson, I don't think. Livna release. Okay, so no. Epson Workforce. There's her printer she has now. I have some ISOs in there. Telex, Linux Mint, Artist X, Fedora 13. I originally started with Fedora 13 on her system. So this is all copied from her Fedora 14 system. That's what all this is. I have to keep looking to make sure I'm not missing the one thing I really want to see. Okay, yeah, let's search for Realtek on that side. Gotta always take case sensitive out, or you'll miss half of what you're looking for. Okay, there's nothing in there. So I evidently did not have to install any, I didn't have to, it just worked with that other motherboard. I mean, that other processor. So, let's see. Make sure I'm not missing something here that I should be looking at. Guess I was searching there might be a screenshot that I named, Realtek. Nope. Okay, and okay. Well, it runs good, other than the Ethernet not working. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down and just get that drive out of there. I could try Fedora 14 to see if it would do it, but I don't think it would. Might as well. Let me see. Let me switch back and get back on the wireless mic. What I think I'm going to end up doing, I'm going to have to take a break. As a matter of fact, I don't want to take that break now. I really need to take a break. So what I'll do is take a break, and then I guess I will try the Fedora 14. I will, take that hard drive out, just plug in the Fedora 14 hard drive, and try it, see what it does. I bet I was wanting to do that all along anyway, and then I don't think it'll work, but never know. And then I think I will go ahead and update that BIOS, or see if it needs updating, because I have it. I have the files they're already on my backup drive, and I'll just unplug it from my machine and plug it into hers, and I'll plug it back into the newer hard drive and everything, and update the BIOS and see if that makes it work. I don't expect it to, but and then if it still won't work, then I'll have to go out in the garage and find another NIC card and put it in there, and then I'll have to install it with that NIC card in there, so I'll have network while it's installing, and then I can do my first updates and see if that fixes the network issue with the onboard card. If that doesn't fix it, then I'll have to go from there. I'll either find a driver somehow or disable that one and use the NIC card that I stuck in there. I don't want to have to do that, but especially since that's a gigabit. But it won't, for mom herself, it really won't matter. She doesn't do file transfers, and our internet, even if it goes up in speed, at some point it probably will. It'll be 100 megabits, and that's what those regular network cards do. But it might be what I have to. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, well, I'm gonna take a break, and I'll come back in a little. It shouldn't be too long, and 20 minutes or something, 30 minutes at the most, I think. Well, always never know what's going to happen, but that's what I'm planning. And then I'll do what I just said. Whatever it was I just said. I kind of remember it. Okay, I'm going to make sure my stream is working before I take off here. And I'm glad it cooled off, though. I'm not burning up. 77.2 with the fan off and just the window open. So that's really nice. All right. Yeah, I guess I've been going a couple hours now, so no, I guess I've been about 2 hours. So yeah, I can look down here on OBS, hour and 50 minutes. That one over there is wrong. It always have to add an hour to whatever it says over there. It's just crazy. So yeah, I'll come back after a while and get back to work.